Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And we have an interesting story here where a woman in a changing room, a woman's changing room at a swimming pool, she was getting changed. She'd been swimming and she was getting changed, and there was some young girls getting changed as well, undressing from their swimming kit in order to use the toilets and the facilities. And the woman hears a man's voice. And there is a man in the changing room who's watching these little girls undress. Now, what would your reaction be? I know what mine would be. It would be to confront the man and ask him what the hell he was doing in a woman's changing room watching children. Well, this woman, of course, did exactly that. Now, this woman who confronted the man was an 80-year-old who'd been using the pool for 35 years. And the man complained. And so the old lady, this 80-year-old decent woman who's trying to protect and safeguard these children, was banned from using the pool because of her bigotry in trying to stop a man from looking at children. I kid you not. Here's the story. So, elderly woman, 80, who's attended the YMCA pool for 35 years, is banned after demanding a male worker, leave the locker room, accusing him of watching little girls. This is unbelievable. I can't put into words how weird this is. That we live in a world where safeguarding children results in you being punished. Julie Jamin, 80, has been a regular for 35 years at the Mountain View Pool in the city of Port Townsend in Washington State, and now she's been banned. She was made aware of the trans worker, Clementine Adams, a man, being in the changing room while she was taking a shower after taking a dip. Jamin said she heard a man's voice and confronted the man about whether or not he had a penis. She told the trans worker to get out, but staff said she was being discriminatory. Police were called and took details of the incident in order to file a report. Pool bosses say Jamin was barred due to several incidents, not just this one. Yeah, but the fact is those pool bosses allowed a man into an area where young girls were undressing. So what is going on? Why are these pool bosses not being held accountable for endangering children? I asked if he had a penis, and he said it was none of my business. I told the man to get out right now, which is of course the correct responsibility. And there's a wonderful picture that she's taking. She's taking a stand now, so she's been banned, but she's standing outside the pool with a card saying men who identify as women are using the women's shower and dressing room. And then underneath is a picture of the man who now calls himself Clementine Adams and who identifies as female but has yet to go under gender reassignment surgery. In other words, he still has a penis. So a man with a penis and holding the P flag, the flag that is famously used by P people, those remarkably attracted to the very young, is saying that no, it's quite okay for a man to look at children. This is a weird, mentally ill person who needs to be psychiatrically treated, not surgically changed. Jamin then told another staffer at the pool, but instead of a sympathetic ear, she was told by a YMCA aquatics manager, Rowan DeLuna, "You're discriminating and you can't use the pool anymore. I'm calling the police." She was told that she was banned from the pool forever, as DeLuna called law enforcement. She didn't ask me what the problem was, if I was okay, nothing about me, Jarman explained. It was as if she was just waiting to pounce on me. It was just stunning. An incident report filed by Port Townsend Police Department described Jarman as having an emotional response to a strange male being in the bathroom near young girls, which is quite right. And then you look at those weirdos. These are the mentally ill that support the idea of men being in close proximity and looking at young girls. So that tells you all you need to know about them, fellow travellers in the P community. Notes from the police detail how Jarman was in the locker room screaming at an employee and refusing to leave. Jarman, who has been a member of the pool for 35 years, claimed she had a great relationship with swimmers in the pool. But bosses at the facility see it differently and have explained Jarman's barring as the culmination of a series of incidents where she violated the facility's code of conduct and was not solely due to this specific incident. But they're not addressing this specific incident. They're not saying whether they think it's okay for men to look at girls. Now, the fact that they're not saying it's wrong is implicative of the fact that they think it's right. And surely that is very, very worrying. Now, I would suggest that any parent of girls, well, no, actually any parent at all, does not let their children use that pool. And women who use that pool, who do not want to be seen by men, should just stop using that pool and go and find another pool. And when nobody is using that pool, and the YMCA is not making any money out of that pool will close down. And the YMCA will sit there and go, well, golly gosh, I wonder what happened there. I wonder why all these children have stopped using our pool. I wonder why. And of course that'll actually upset them, because they do like children, don't they? They do like getting their hands on the children and getting into their minds. So anyway, Jamin said she did not feel comfortable being and showering with a person born as a male in the same room. She believes the facility should put up warning signs in the changing rooms that are to be able to be used by trans people. Olympic Peninsula YMCA CEO Wendy Barr outlined her reasons for banning Jamin. I don't care. I don't care about why you banned this old woman. I want to know specifically why you allow men to look at children. That's the most important question here. The YMCA, are you saying it's okay for men to look at young girls? Is that your line? Because if it is, it tells you all you need to know about the YMCA. They're very weird. Anyway, I shall come up before I get angry. But there is no reason for this to be happening. Anyway, we'll come up. This is a horrifying example of wokeism at its absolute worst. When you are castigated and punished for the safeguarding of children, and yet the organisation that punishes you allows men to ogle young girls. It's almost as though they're trying to normalise the P. And I've said this many, many times. These organisations are pushing for this. And certainly the trans lobby is. Their mental illness, their paraphiliac desires know no bounds. They fetishise the wearing of women's clothes, but it's only ultimately a step to where they really want to be. And we know where they really want to be, and this is an example of it. If you have any kind of sports facility or changing room or a shop that allows men where women should be, stop using it and complain, and make a point of them knowing, and complain loudly in the shop. You know, if you're sitting there and getting changed something and a man's in there, make a very loud hoo-ha row about it. Let people who would maybe have gone into the changing room realise that maybe they won't go into the changing room. Maybe they'll just put that back on the shelf and walk out of the store. Or maybe they'll just get back dressed and walk out of the sports facility, never to return. And when these sports facilities and shops and whatever are going under because of their desire to placate the tiny proportion of mentally ill people, they'll look at their bottom lines and think, oh, what have we done? Well, we can affect change. Ladies, you most definitely can affect change. I'm sure you don't want your daughters, nieces, sisters undressing in front of men who are ogling them. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell for notification of future outputs. Leave a like, leave a comment, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, scream like crazy when there's a man in the ladies' changing room, and goodbye.